Alright, so robots, gossip, teen sex, and my lost grandma. This is about the ups and downs when our machines talk to each other. So this is my phone. I love my phone. I'm convinced that my phone thinks I'm an idiot, right? I constantly am getting lost. I can't spell. I don't know who my friends are without this phone. I can't even add multiple numbers together, right? I'm always using this calculator. So it would be okay if it was just my phone and I that knew that I was an idiot, right? Unfortunately, my phone is constantly telling the world about this, right? So whether it's the Google Map servers or the Sprint towers or the ads in Angry Birds are telling me I need to learn memory games, right? It keeps telling everyone all of this information about me constantly. My only comfort is I'm not the only one with the phone. All your phones probably think, run intelligent, right? And there's tons of machine-to-machine communication that's going on right now. It's happening with robots at assembly plants that are finding the quickest way to produce goods on the assembly line. It's with keys in a car, telling the car who's driving that. So if you have an electronic key, each family member has a different electronic key, and that's communicating to the car who's driving that car. It's also price tag on groceries, right? Where to check out of a grocery store, all you need to do is push the cart through a electromagnetic field. These are all devices that are communicating with each other. This is known as machine-to-machine communication, or M2M as the shorthand for it. This is one of the hottest areas right now in enterprise application development and consumer electronics. It's an exciting area, unless, of course, this is bad news, because isn't it the end of the world when our robots start talking to each other and next thing you know they don't need us and we all die, right? So what I realize is that getting over that initial hump of having the devices know more than I do and be smarter than me and communicating with each other, once I got over that and began to look at the amazing opportunities and applications that exist out there, it opens up a whole new world of applications. So for example, my fear was the devices know more than I do, they're talking to each other, this is bad, right? The thing that's scarier to me than that is teen driving. Okay, we have 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, and just the mere thought of them driving someday to me is petrifying. One of the great applications that we've actually seen out there, and working with one of the companies here on, is the idea that when a teen goes into a car. So if your teenager is starting to learn to drive, right? You can. You don't want them going on the interstate or the freeway. You don't want them going out to the lake area with their friends and God knows what's happening out there. So it's very easy to pull up these applications where you can outline on a Google map the areas where you want your teen to drive. And the cool part of it is then when that teen gets into the car and little Johnny wants to hop on the freeway with Brittany and take her out to the lake, you get an alert notification saying, time out, Johnny's driving off somewhere, and you can call him and say, get your butt home, right? I call it the get your butt home app, right? So essentially, there's all these innovations that we can do when we get over the fact that our devices are talking to each other. Another one that I think is pretty cool is my grandma. She's an adorable old lady, and she loves going to the mall. She with her friends from the nursing home, particularly when her boyfriend Robert, the 94-year-old hunk from the nursing home there, is going too. She loves it. So typically when you have 50, 60 seniors that are going out to a public space like that, it can be, you need lots of staff, and it can be very, worrisome at times because what's going to happen with the different seniors. Well, these new clip-on devices, right, what they do is essentially communicate with each other that if there are a group of 5 people around that are wearing that similar device, everything's okay. You don't need to worry about it. If individuals from that group move away, let's say somebody's left off by themselves or somebody begins to wander off, you can actually notify staff that from the nursing home that are there in the mall. So 1 or 2 people are perfectly fine being able to make sure that 50 or 60 people from that nursing home are okay. And that's a good example of far field communication that's going on between devices. So there's lots of opportunities in this space. Once we get over the fear of robots knowing everything. The only downside to that, of course, is when Robert wants to take my grandma for a milkshake, right? Because she's constantly getting told, don't do that, because she's leaving the group. And that's when I realized, sometimes you just got to throw away the device and kind of go live life. So.